Today's episode of Desertwood Days with Kathy Blaze is sponsored by Bourke Publishing, expanding minds through fantasy since 2018. Learn more at the Bourke Publishing website, www.dorcpublishing.com.
Welcome back to Desertwood Days. I hope you are just as excited as I am to have celebrity actor Mr. Bourke Floyd. Come on down, Mr. Bourke Floyd.
Hey, Kathy.
Hi there. Welcome. You know I got to get a hug.
You know that's right.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Such a pleasure. You know I've been trying to get you here, but I know you're a busy man.
Well, you are too. I mean, you know, your schedule is a tight one, to be sure. You are all about town, and I absolutely love following. You know, when I can't be here in Arizona, it's so nice to follow you and see what is going on, you know, what's happening in the market and in
awesome.
the industry. So it's really great.
That is awesome. And you know what? We truly appreciate you here in Arizona. And we love watching all that you're doing out there.
Oh, well, I'm very, very fortunate to be working regularly. And, you know, a lot of it involves a lot of travel.
Yes.
But every once in a while I do get to film or work in Arizona too. And that's always just
so we're blessed to have you here today.
Oh, thank you so much.
You.
I'm so fortunate.
Yes. So, Bourke, you know, first thing I like to say, I really appreciate how you showcase other talent. You're not, I don't say a me person. I mean, you recognize others' talent and what they're doing, and I see you promoting and sharing, and thank you for that.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, we're all of us are a team, and we're all we've got, and we're all we need, and like we can't be competition if I'm rooting for you.
Right.
You know,
right.
And if we stop worrying about the things that divide us or separate us or looking at each other as competition and start rooting for each other and supporting each other and focusing on the things that bring us together and that we can agree on and unite us, like we can get so much further. And so I just love the people that are doing so well in Arizona and my friends all over that are doing
over, because it's not just, I mean, you celebrate other celebrities as well, your co-workers, people that you are working, that we admire on television. Okay, I see you celebrating them as well. I don't say us little people out here in Arizona, but you celebrate us as well as the celebrities we see on TV and admire, and that is awesome. That's all I'm trying to get at here.
Yeah, no, and and that's I think that's a big thing though, right? It's that like. It's so easy for people to think or perceive someone who they might know from some particular project from their past, right? As just being consistently working and consistently successful and always hitting it out of the park, and you know and so you don't celebrate their wins, and like that's such a bummer, right? When you think about it, I just wrapped a movie in New Mexico with Dolph Lundgren. Everybody knows Dolph Lundgren from Drago and Rocky and He-Man and from decades ago. The movie that we just wrapped, Dolph directed and he co-wrote, and it took him almost 15 years to get the movie made. And it's Dolph Lundgren. It doesn't, just because they're successful doesn't make it easy. It
doesn't mean it's easier for them. And you know what? I have a friend that has this saying, there's no big I or little you. I love that saying, because that doesn't put you up on this pedestal and I'm down here, no matter where we are in our fields.
That's right. 100%.
So I love that saying, and I try to use that all the time. But again, welcome here to Desertwood Days.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
So I know that you've been out and about doing a lot of work out there, and I want to talk a little bit before we get started, because we have a lot of aspiring actors or seasoned actors here in the industry that's trying to get to their next level. And because their next level may be different than my next level, your next level,
Sure.
but they're trying to get there. And what I want to talk a little bit about is dedication, because I know with you out there, and we're watching you because we know you. You're one of our Arizona guys, so we see all the things you're doing out there, and trying to get to that next level. You're not thinking about what it's going to take to get there, what you're going to have to give up at home if you have a family, children. So can you explain a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah. So, first, it's always process over outcome. So if you want to climb up rungs of a ladder, you can't get to the top of a ladder keeping one of your feet on the bottom rung. So, as you make your way up the ladder, it is really important that you know that you have to climb, but that you also remember to show the people that are still the rungs beneath you, hey, this is how I got here.
Right.
Because everybody's journey is different.
Right.
But if all of us share what worked for us, then people can find those things that work for them. You do have to make sacrifices, and you do, and it does involve. I miss my son and my wife all the time, constantly. I miss them when I'm working, and particularly with COVID regulations. There were times where I was living in a bubble, especially in 2020, the first year of COVID. When I did the series Swagger for Apple TV, I was on the East Coast. He was homeschooling. My son was. Our son was. So they could have just as easily come with me, except that I had to live in a bubble, in a hotel for 9 weeks. And I never, other than being transported to and from set, never left the hotel, and they weren't permitted to come. And so, that makes it a little more difficult. But it's important that you've got to recognize the people that help you keep it together.
Right.
And it's, what's this? Behind every good man is a strong woman, or something like that, right? Well, I think the difference between a good man who has a strong woman behind him and a great man is that he makes sure that woman's right in front of him.
Right.
Because I could do none of this without my wife.
That's true.
And I could do none of this without my son.
That's true.
I get to be like the face of the brand. Bourke.
Right.
As an actor, that's you are selling yourself.
Right. That's true.
So I get to be that, but really none of it works without them.
That is true. That is true, because they're holding down the fort and taking care of it and making sure everything is safe and secure, and you're able to do what you do without worries.
So exactly. So I can go on set for 10 or 12 hours, maybe not have my phone the entire time, or be on location and all of that. And it's incredibly important. It's incredibly important to communicate those things to the people. And it's incredibly important to look at the next step. Don't worry about the outcome. Look at the next step. Keep your eye on the ball, not the scoreboard, right? And so that's how you get anywhere in life, is one step at a time.
Right. I have to tell you this because I have 2 girls.
Okay.
And one of our things is that we love Big Mama's house. I told them I was going to mention it to you, because that is one of our favorite movies. I mean, we have popcorn night and just sit and watch that.
Sure, yeah.
Tell us what it was like. I mean, and your scene working with Martin, if you don't mind.
Of course.
I know you probably get asked this all the time, but I just had to ask
it. I love that you asked it, and it never gets old. Martin Lawrence is a genius. He's a really fantastically kind and giving actor. He's really generous on set. Zach Levi is in that scene with us as well, who plays Shazam and just played Kurt Warner in the American Underdog Kurt Warner story and everything, tie into Arizona as well. And Zach's an amazing guy too. Big Mama's House was shooting that might have been one of the most fun sequences I ever got to be a part of. I mean, it took a lot longer than one day to shoot that one sequence.
Look, some of those scenes that didn't make it to the it was a bunch of funny stuff. 100
bits that were in there that didn't make final cut. But yeah, I mean, you can't, anybody that knew me when I was young and kind of an arrogant, brash teenager probably enjoy seeing Big Mama take me down, and it's really, that's such a great movie and such a great franchise too. I'm just incredibly blessed to have been a part of that franchise.
That's awesome. And since you brought that up, what would you say to that young Bourke?
Oh, I mean, you know, there's so much, man. I think the first and foremost thing would be to be more present. Sometimes what can be perceived as arrogance or a lack of humility is just really a lack of understanding, a lack of awareness. When I was on Dawson's Creek, somebody had just asked me, a driver who was taking me to production to the airport was asking me something about Dawson's Creek. What would I do differently of anything? And I don't think it would necessarily be my performance or anything like that. Although as an actor, anytime I see myself, I'm like, oh, why did you do that?
Yeah,
you know, but,
we all do.
But right, yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. But I think with Dawson's, just as an example, my character Brady interacted directly with Kerr Smith's character Jack a lot, and his boyfriend, that kiss was the first male on male gay kiss on network television.
Oh, okay.
Ellen had the first female kiss and the first gay kiss of all or whatever in network television, and ours was the first where two men. And I wish that I had been, just as an example, present to know, like, wow, man, you know, you get to be a small part of like change of impact.
Yeah.
And I wish I'd realized more or at all that it had nothing to do with me.
Right.
At all. Nothing at all. None of that. None of the acting has anything to do with the actor at all.
Right.
And once you get that out of your way and get out of your own way, your performances get better. I think you're probably a lot more fun to work with.
Yes.
And the appreciation that you have for the craft of acting and the team that it takes. I mean, you have your own talk show.
Yes.
You've got a team of people that put this together, and it's your show. But you have
it's not about just.
It's not just
Kathy.
about Kathy.
Yes.
It's a team effort, and you're so gracious about that. I mean, I see you always acknowledge it. I wish that I could have been more like that at that age. I wish I could have had more of an understanding that it wasn't about me. I mean, and you know, a part of that is just being a kid.
That's true.
And there's no excuse for it. But I mean, a part of it is just being a kid and not having anybody say, hey, man, what's going on?
Right. But you know what? I think our life is a journey. And we go and we did things and we learn from whatever it is. And you've learned and you've done a lot of things in your life to show that young Bourke. So I think what you did was just fine.
Well, I appreciate it.
Okay. And I'm sure people looking back, the things that we see as actors and as people in ourselves, no one else is going to see. They're going to still notice that, oh, that was the first kiss.
Yeah, that's the benefit that you have of being a part of shows like Dawson's Creek or movies like Big Mama's House is that people can actually come back, and with the new streaming media, it's not new anymore, but with the availability of things like that, people can go back and see it and revisit those things, like you said, like with your girls, you know what I mean, and have a popcorn night and have those laughs over and over again. So it's
and to address that.
Yeah, right.
This was what happened back then and there.
Yes.
But I know you brought some media with you today.
Oh,
I'm looking forward to seeing some of
that. So am I. I know. I happen to know the editor of your show, so we'll see. Okay. We'll see if Ashland dropped in any kind of wonky pictures of me that he found. It wouldn't shock me.
Well, you know, he's always torturing Kathy Blaze for some reason.
I know that's right. So cool. This picture is of me and an actor named Jason Winston George, who plays Ben Warren on Station 19 on ABC. It's a spinoff of Grey's Anatomy, where his character played Dr. Ben Warren.
Yes.
And Jason is actually a longtime friend of mine from Virginia as well. He's from Virginia Beach. He's a fantastic actor. It's a fantastic show. I was so blessed to get to guest star on it, you know, and be in the Shondaland universe. and looking forward to hopefully being back there in an upcoming season.
For a long time.
I know that's right. Yeah, he's one of the best, most kind-spirited guys ever, and a lot of fun to work with.
That's awesome to know, especially when you watch these guys for so long. I mean, it's nice to know that they even have a kind spirit.
100%. Yeah, awesome. He's a great man and an incredibly talented actor. And then let's see now. Okay, well, yeah. See, here's this is an Ashland. This is a little bit of a burn here. So this is me with my 6 head. 4 head. Sorry. And Kelsey Grammer. This is from Wanted Man. Kelsey Grammer, obviously from Frasier. Played Frasier in Cheers, then Frasier on Frasier. He is just he's an incredible guy to work with and a lot of fun. This was on the Dolph Lundgren directing, starring film Wanted Man. And I performed, in addition to my role and my own stunts, Kelsey and Dolph tapped me to do his stunts in part because Kelsey thought it would be funny, and also just because I love doing stunts and
that's perfect.
Thought I'd make him look cool. So. From Wanted Man as well, there's Dolph Lundgren, there's He-Man, Drago. Again, wearing a lot of hats in this. He co-wrote, directing, starring. He's amazing. And
he still looks pretty good there.
He's a great-looking dude. He is really, really a fantastic human being to work with.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and a legend. He's an icon. So. Oh, so I love this one. Now this is from, I know I said that about a picture of just myself, which sounds really awful, but this photo brings back a lot of amazing memories. I've been very fortunate to make a few films in Arizona, and this is from one of them. And I love with the backdrop that you have too, how that sun goes out into the
that's
flag.
Beautiful.
That is from Dog Boy. Paul Winters directed for Flicks West, which will be coming out in the coming couple of months here.
Okay.
And that filmed predominantly in Arizona. We also filmed a little bit in LA.
Oh, okay.
It was just an amazing experience working on that film. And that truck that I'm leaning against is my character's truck. And that truck has like 400,000 miles on it and drives like a dream.
Really?
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. It was amazing. Every time I got in it, and it just fired right up and drove. I thought.
Was this like in the 70s?
So it wasn't. So that's the thing is, it was a character choice that Paul and I worked out for my character. He's a bare knuckle boxer, and it was he's taken a couple of shots to maybe one too many shots to the head. And he's actually this kind-hearted guy who wants to be kind of a thinking man's man, but he doesn't necessarily have the mental acuity, but he has the heart for it. And so this is him trying to dress, cool and suggestive of like, I've got it all together. And I got to work on this with a fantastic actor, Zion Monroe. He and I were partners in it. In our characters. I think there may be a photo of him coming up as well. It was an incredible experience, and Paul's directing. Paul Winters is an amazing director.
Arizona has some beautiful sunsets. That's a beautiful picture.
I mean, that looks like it's got studio magic on it, and I didn't even know somebody was taking this picture. To be honest with you, I think they posted it, and I saw it, and I was like, where did this come from? Oh man, okay, Vet TV, and we get the Valor Film Festival. So I play Lieutenant Teddy Jones. Jones for Fullbird, hashtag. I played Lieutenant Colonel Teddy Jones on A Grunt's Life Seasons 2 on Vet TV. New episodes air every Wednesday. It's a great show.
Wonderful.
I had a heck of a time on it. It's irreverent comedy and a really remarkable experience to be a part of, bringing some comedy into that world.
Yes, that's exciting.
Oh, well, that's just me flirting with you, I think. I'm not sure what else to say about that one, Kathy. That one was just my love card to you. I didn't know that Ashland was going to put it up on the screen.
Okay, wifey. Okay.
No, I know.
It's not my fault that he's just flirting with me, okay?
No, that's...
no one can resist those blue eyes,
know? No, that's... that's a recent photo that we're using currently just as kind of a headshot promo photo.
Very nice. Very nice.
This is actually a really great one as well. This photo will be, I can't say the periodical that it'll be for, but it is for an arts and entertainment magazine, which I've been I'll never understand it. I always said I Forrest Gump my way through life. I don't know what they found interesting in me, but they made me the cover story of it. It'll be the fall issue that I'm the cover of. Wonderful. On this magazine, and I'm a little blown away by it.
And you know what it is too? I mean, just what you were referencing about Dolph Lundgren being a wonderful person and your other friend, you know, it's about putting yourself out there and letting people see your heart, I would like to say. And they saw something in you. There's always someone out there that sees it. Whether you know it or not, someone's out there looking. That's why I say you have to always be conscious of what you're putting out there.
Well, and we all have bad days, and that's the thing, right? We all have bad days. Everybody has bad days, and everybody has bad moments, and it's the same boiling water that hardens an egg will soften a potato. So it's when you look at those conditions, you have to own it. You have to go, yeah, I'm having a pretty crap day, and so and decide that I'm not going to put that on somebody else. I'm gonna live with this and do steps to get better about it and get through it myself. So and you could seek help. Don't get me wrong. If you need it, always seek help.
Right, of course.
But you can. But it doesn't have to be a thing that you prolong.
Yeah, that is very true.
Oh, this is at the Phoenix Film Festival. That is the young lady, the lighter blonde, is a young lady named Lindsay, who's like a kid sister to me. I've known her for 20 years, give or take, from LA. And Tori is a fantastic stylist and actress and model here in Phoenix. That's at the film festival. And the funny thing is that I knew Tori through the industry here in Phoenix, and found out that she knew Lindsay completely out of the industry from Phoenix. And so they've been friends forever.
Right.
And so it was really cool.
See, you never know who knows whom.
It's a small world.
Yes, it is.
And you did great interviews at that, by the way. That's my wife. Yeah, I outkicked my coverage. She's a 10. I'm a 4.5 on a good day. That's us on the red carpet.
So you guys make a 14.5. So that's good.
That's us on the red carpet at this year's Academy Awards.
Wonderful.
Which was really remarkable and a lot of fun to get to take her to that. That's me with Sally Struthers. Yes, I only had one tux for the whole week. I bought it. And I wore the same tux.
She still looks good. I haven't seen her forever.
Oh, man, yeah. I did a blue tux. I did a blue and yellow combo for Ukraine. And so I wore it to everything, just trying to stay on message. Oh, man. Okay, well, there's Mark Spino there in the middle. Mark Spino is a legend. I know he's been on your show.
Yes, he has.
He is an incredible actor. He just is in the middle of shooting, and I don't believe that I can say what the show is. But I can say that he is in the middle of shooting a recurring guest star. It's basically a series. It's the New World in our industry. It's the New World's series regular is recurring guest star.
Okay.
And so he is a recurring guest star on a fantastic network show, and he is crushing it on that.
Mark's an awesome guy.
He's an awesome guy and great, incredibly talented actor. And then Zion there, man, that is my dude. That is also from Dog Boy. And filmed Flicks West, Paul Winters, Patty Winters here in Arizona. This is Las Cruces, New Mexico. Noel G there in the front. Many people know him from Hector and Fast and the Furious, Training Day. He's in everything. Yeah. And in the middle is Ryan Philippe, just an incredible guy. He was on Shooter on USA. He's been in I Know What You Did Last Summer. I mean, the guy's been famous since I was a teenager. And that's from a feature film called Locksmith that'll come out in the fall.
They're aging backwards.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, man, he was in People Magazine, Sexiest Man Alive for the best dad bod. You're like, okay, great. And this is with Kate Bosworth, who some people may remember from the Superman franchise as Lois Lane, and Nicholas Harvard, the director. That's also from Locksmith, and then Christopher Walken is photobombing there on my t-shirt. Actually, Walken in a Winterland Land. And this is me aged up for the Hulu series, ABC Hulu series that I start on, called City of Angels, City of Death, where I played Detective Bob Grogan. And that was a trip with the mustache and the hairpiece and all of that. That was set in the 70s. Well, actually, early 80s. real life story of Detective Bob Grogan, who caught the Hillside Strangler.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so those are some of the projects that I've done in the last 6 months, give or take.
Wonderful.
And you know,
and before we get, you had mentioned there was a charity event that you were part of.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, I work with the Leukemia Lymphoma Society Greater LA chapter,
Okay.
and so you know, there's a charity buzz, has all of these items, and they're things that you can win in an auction. They're trips, they're celebrity encounters, they're all sorts of things. Charitybuzz.com, and I work, all of them that I go on for their are for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society Greater LA chapter, and I just actually had a VIP experience with me, to you and a guest, the winner and a guest get to go on the Universal Studios backlot with me. And I mean, when I say it's VIP, I mean, like, we're going to go, it's just us. You want to go in there and look at it, as long as once that light turns off, we'll walk right onto the sound stage. I'll introduce you to anybody. And then there's VIP front of line access to all the rides for the day for them and a guest. And so I'm really, you know, that actually auctioned for a really large sum this time, and I'm really blown away.
What, really quick, what advice would you give to an aspiring actor?
Listen more.
Okay.
Just really, like, both in your acting and just in life, just listen more. Just don't be patient about it. Just don't be in such a hurry to try to get this thing, what you think you want. Don't be in such a hurry. Listen more. I did a movie in Arizona called Prankster, and it was all about, it's a great movie that'll come out as a family film. And, you know, it was really listening to the director, because the gag was written in the script, but listening to the director about how they were going to set that up helped me find where the joke was.
Right.
So that both my reaction played to make it hopefully funnier, right? But also, and the gag played, which was written in, and there were physical gags, so that worked. They were real pranks. Right. But also, like, the setup, so there was more of a payoff to the audience, right? As an actor, listening to, not just thinking, I know how this goes, I'll do it.
And that goes back to what you said earlier, being present.
Being present.
Yes.
And knowing what you don't know, you know.
So where can our audience find you?
On Instagram, Bourke_Floyd. That's BOURKE_FLOYD. That's also my TikTok handle. And you know, Instagram is the one that I'm on most, but I'm starting to learn TikTok. Sort of.
Lord.
Yeah.
You and me both.
Ricky Tikki Tavi, Ricky Tikki Taki. I don't know, whatever. But I'm starting to learn some of the dances.
Oh, goodness.
No.
Well, it was such a pleasure having you here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Such a pleasure, and we look forward to more of Bourke Floyd.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining us here today on Desertwood Days. Catch you next time.